Hey guys, Dalek44 here. I need no introduction, but I got one anyway. And welcome to another edition of Remember That? This is where I take a look at a movie, TV show, video game, character, or even product that's been forgotten by many people. And tonight we're going to be taking a look at a Disney princess who's been forgotten by most, but remembered by a very few. Princesses have become a staple of the Walt Disney Company since their very first animated feature film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And their lineup of princesses has ranged from as iconic as Princess Jasmine from Aladdin, and those who are underrated like Maid Marian from Robin Hood. And yeah, I know Maid Marian isn't technically a princess, she is a maiden, but her uncle King Richard is king of England, so that technically counts as royalty. Anyway, how many of you Disney fans remember Princess Lotta Lamour? Lotta Lamour is a one-shot character from Disney's animated television series Tailspin, a series that took some characters from the Jungle Book and put them into their own show, who appears in the episode The Road to Macadamia. She is the Red Fox Vixen Crown Princess of the Kingdom of Macadamia. Lotta Lamour is known in the kingdom for her intelligence, beauty and power, but her monarch rabbit father King Armok is unfortunately seemingly dim-witted. Lotta becomes not only the target for Baloo and Louie's affections during a cargo pickup to the country, but also of the power-hungry buzzard Chancellor Trample, who wants to marry her in order to run the kingdom after stealing the people's tax money and to create a public uprising. Fortunately, Lotta is able to foil the Chancellor's plot with Louie and Baloo's help. Although she likes both of them, she doesn't fall for either one of them, but is grateful for their help in restoring her and her father's kingdom back to the justiciable rulers. She wears a pink veil, orange strip skirt, dark screen bracelets on both wrists and left ankle. She was voiced by Kath Soucie, who voiced other furry icons such as Fifi LaFume from Tiny Toon Adventures, Sally Acorn from Sonic Sat AM, and Lola Bunny from Space Jam. And I don't think I really have to go through all the numbers of characters she's voiced over the years since she has a high voice acting profile. Even if you have no idea who the hell she is, chances are you would have heard her voice in one or two animated projects in your childhood. Lotta was mainly introduced in Tailspin for another girl for Louie and Baloo to fight over, since that's made such great chemistry in previous episodes before this. In Tailspin, Baloo and Louie competing for the affections of an attractive woman was an ongoing thing in the series, where in some episodes they come across a pretty girl and they'd fight for their affections, but ultimately none of them would win the girl. And even though Baloo stated to Louie that Princess Lotta Lamour needed both their helps to save the kingdom, and when Lotta stated that she was fond of both of them mutually, they still fought for her affections in hilarious manners. Despite being a one-shot character, Lotta Lamour stands out as one of the more active princesses in the Disney lineup, since at that time most Disney princesses and princesses from other projects were just women who needed rescuing from peril, since this was the time when most TV shows had no strong female characters. But Lotta was one of the few that changed all that in the 80s and early 90s. And I think she goes down in history as one of the first Disney princesses to be able to look after herself and not always need rescuing. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Unlike most princesses at the time in media, Lotta wasn't afraid to get her hands dirty. She wasn't just some damsel in distress that always needed saving. She could take care of herself in situations. The best examples of this is when she manages to take out Chancellor Trample and his two bent guards with a really big hammer, and then when she takes out another guard with a vase.
I like it.
Unlike other anthropomorphic female characters at the time, Lotta wasn't one of those sex cushions that was just there to grab the affection of men and be objectified all the time. She had an actual personality. When you compare her to Lola Bunny from Space Jam, Lotta Lamour, as I said, is intelligent, strong-willed, and won't take any shit from anyone, not even Chancellor Trample. Whereas Lola from Space Jam was a woman who didn't like being objectified, and yet does nothing but try to be objectified. Remember, this was a time when female characters in animation were written differently, but Lotta was one of the few characters at the time that changed all that. Even though Lotta never made another appearance again in Tailspin or any other Disney project after her initial episode, the fans never forgot about her. And even though she only appeared in one episode of the show, she did make her impact with a lot of fans. mostly through fan art in websites like DeviantArt, where some of the fan art is pretty tame and child friendly, and others not so much. I don't have the time to put every single one of her fan arts on this video, but I would recommend checking them out if you haven't already. The artists who have made them are really talented, and you should definitely go check them out if you have the time. She also goes down in history as being one of Kath Soucie's best performances, since she did a lot of voice acting at the time. While Lotta Lamour does have her fan base, she was forgotten about by many Disney fans. And I think that's a real damn shame, since she did make quite an impact in her only appearance in Tailspin. And to this day I'm still surprised that channels like Play First Cinema and Familiar Faces haven't done a video about her. Lotta Lamour is another one of those Disney characters who's been forgotten by many fans, but has managed to leave her mark on most fans of Tailspin and the Disney Afternoon era. And I feel she deserves a lot more attention than she gets. But whether you remember her or not, Princess Lotta Lamour was one of those Disney characters that never left my mind ever since my childhood. She is in my opinion one of the most underrated Disney princesses out there, who deserves more love than she gets. And if you haven't seen the Tailspin episode Road to Macadamia yet, I highly recommend checking it out. It's another fun Baloo and Louie adventure episode, and the introduction to one of Disney's most underrated princesses of all time. So go check it out and see what you've been missing all those years. I'm Dalek44, and I'll see you next time, folks. Fezzes are cool.
What do you think that penguin is up to, Simon? He's been living in the house for months now.
I actually don't know that Miss Tiny. I haven't seen Feathers McGraw in a couple of weeks now. Check the security cameras.
I didn't even know you had security cameras.
Oh yeah, I had them installed not long after Dr. Robotnik invaded my house. Let's see. Oh, there he is. He's just standing outside my door.
What's he doing out there?
He's not even doing anything suspicious or evil. He's just staring at the door. Perhaps he thinks I'm going to pop out of the door at some point. Well, I'm not giving him that satisfaction.
What's happened out there now?
I had no idea Feathers McGraw was a furry.
I know.
And you think you know Master Criminal Penguins do?